Hey guys, welcome to Friday's reading lesson. Today we're going to be finishing up our plays and we're going to be reading a drama play today. Okay, so our play is going to be on page 320. I'm going to share my screen and it's going to look like this. And this play is called The Endless Tale. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. And I'm going to go ahead when I read, I'm going to read the people who are telling or who are the characters as they tell the story too, just so you know kind of where I am and you can follow along. So the setting for the reading lesson is a long time ago, and the place is the King's Palace. And you see that in line 1 at the top here. And then you have your cast of characters. You have the king, the princess, first storyteller, second storyteller, lords and ladies, and the guards. So line 3, the king sits on a cushion in the great hall. The princess sits on a cushion by him. In front of him sits the first storyteller. The lords and ladies are nearby. First storyteller. Then the prince married the princess, and they were happy forever and ever. There is a pause. King, go on. The storyteller hangs his head. King, go on, I say. Fourth storyteller, that is all, your majesty. King, outraged. All? First storyteller, the prince married the princess. There is nothing more to tell. King, I cannot bear so short a story. Princess, why, father? For 3 months we have listened to it. King, 'tis short, I say. I bid you make it longer, sir. First storyteller, I cannot, sire. The prince married the princess. There is nothing. King, throw him out of the palace, guards. Cut off his head. The guards seize the storyteller. Princess, father. Lords, your majesty. Ladies, sire. Princess, spare his life. First storyteller, let me keep my head, sire. King, why should you keep it? You do not use it. First storyteller, for 3 months I have used it, sire. King, your story is too short, I say. Away with him, guards, away. Guards take out the first storyteller. King, bid another storyteller come. A guard admits the second storyteller, who bows before the king and princess. Second storyteller, I hear, O king. If you can do this, you shall marry my daughter and be king after me. Second storyteller, I hear, O king. King, if you fail, you shall lose your head. Begin, and remember, the story must go on forever. Now again, I say, begin. We're going to move on to the next page. Second storyteller. Once upon a time, a king seized upon all the corn in his country. He had it stored in a strong granary. Then came a swarm of locusts over the land. Soon they found a crack in the south side of the granary. Now the crack was just large enough for one locust to pass through at a time. So one locust went in and carried away a grain of corn. Then another locust went in and carried away a grain of corn. Then another locust went in and carried away a grain of corn. Then, king, interrupting, yes, now go on with the story. Second storyteller, the story shall go on, O king. Then another locust went in and carried away another grain of corn. Then another locust, king, interrupting, I tell you to go on with the story. Second storyteller, I obey, great king. Then another locust went in and carried away another grain of corn. Then another. King, the story, I tell you. Second storyteller, this is the story, O king. Then another locust went in and carried another grain of corn. Then, king, I cannot stand it. How long will it take for the locust to carry away all the grain? Second storyteller, 1,000 years, O king. Then another locust went in and, king, stop, take my daughter, be king after me, be king now. Anything to stop the locust. The lights go out, the curtains falls, the play is over. Okay, so this play was a drama. So if we look at the next page, Question 1 says, which two features below are found only in a script for a play and would not be found in a story? So if we were just reading a regular story, maybe one that we read already, like maybe from Ferris's Grand Idea when we read about the Ferris wheel, which two things would be only in a play like this one, The Endless Tale, and would not be in a story that we've previously read? So one thing that would only be in a play is stage directions, right? Because they're giving you the directions of what you're supposed to do, maybe where you're supposed to stand, go onto the stage, go off of the stage. Sorry. And then the other thing that's only in a play is the cast of characters. So in a play, you have your cast, who's in the story. In a regular story, they don't give you who's the cast of characters. You kind of got to figure out who the characters are in your own story. So your answers would be C and E. Number 2 says, the following question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. So read the sentence from line 14. So the king says, I bid you make it longer, sir. What does the word bid mean as it is used in this sentence? I bid you make it longer. So he's asking for the story to be longer. And that would be C, request, right? He's asking something, he's requesting it. So if we look at part B, it says, which detail from the story provides the best clue for the meaning of bid? Would it be A, there's nothing more to tell? B, I cannot bear so short a story? C, that is all, your majesty? Or D, I cannot, sire? The answer was B, I cannot bear so short a story. So he's bidding that it's longer. He's requesting because the story is too short. So if we look at the next page, on page 324, we have which of the statements below best describes why the script provided this detail in line 7. The storyteller hangs his head. So why in a play would they give that direction? The storyteller hangs his head. They want to let us, do they want to let us know A, the audience, do they want to let the audience know the storyteller's tired? Or B, to let the audience know the storyteller's neck is sore? C, to let the audience know the storyteller's finished with his story? Or D, to let the audience know the storyteller is ashamed? So they're talking about the first storyteller. And so the answer would be D, to let the audience know he was ashamed, right? His story was too short. He was ashamed he didn't have a longer story for the king, right? So let's look at number 4. It says the following question has 2 parts. First part A and then part B. So what does the writer do by adding the stage direction in line 35? King interrupting, yes, yes, now go on with the story. So the stage direction is interrupting. So what does the storyteller show you? She shows the king is not interested in the story. She shows that the second storyteller is speaking quietly. She shows the king is impatient to hear what happens next. She shows the second storyteller is about to have his head cut off. So the answer would be C. It's showing that the king is impatient, right? He doesn't want to hear any more about the corn and the locusts. He wants him to go on with the story, and he keeps interrupting him. So in part B, it says underline 2 sentences from the lines below that best support your answer in part A. So what would we underline here to support she shows the king is impatient to hear what happens next? Well, we would underline the king's lines, right? I cannot stand it. How long will it take for the locust to carry away all the grain? Because we're showing the king to be impatient. So we would underline what the king is doing. He's being impatient. He can't stand that the story is repeating over and over again. So let's look at the next page, 325. And on 325, we're just going to do the short response. And the short response is going over the 3 characters, the ones that are most important, and how they should perform their parts. So we decided on 3 main characters. So the 3 main characters were the king, the first storyteller, and the second storyteller. And you can tell that too by how many lines they have in the play, right? They have a lot more lines than the princess or the lords or the ladies. So we're going to put on that one. The three main characters are the king, first storyteller, and second storyteller. They are most important to the action. The king should sound impatient. We talked about how he was impatient, so that's how the king should sound. The first storyteller should act nervous because his story is so short and he doesn't want to have his head cut off. And the second storyteller should act sure of himself, right? Because he knows no matter what, his story's going to go on and on and on. So that's what we would put for our short response on that answer on 325. So if you need time and you want to pause it and write this down, go ahead and pause it. I hope you had a great weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. And I will see you guys Monday. Bye.